One.
We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3, your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.
What's going on, people out there in Radio Land? It's the one and only DJ Malone, man. Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day. Really, I'm in Houston right now. It's getting a little bit better. It was like in 95, 92, 93, and it's too damn hot for my liking. I ain't gonna lie to you. But all that being said, man, you guys know we usually interview people, artists, entrepreneurs, everything like that. But this one, I really got a treat for you, man. So I really want to get in tune with this lady, and I really like what she has going on, and especially because it's about health, and not just about physical health, but mental health as well, man. And I really want to get into with everything. Go introduce yourself real quick.
Everybody, my name is Dr. Kristy Taylor. I am a career and executive coach, and I am the founder of WORxK Solutions LLC. And we spell our business name WORxK because we like to say that we are the prescription for career success. And he is right on target because I do hold a doctorate in health science. And I originally started my business helping folks in healthcare, but over the years we have expanded, and now we support individuals up and down the career ladder, different diverse careers and diverse groups to really find their peace of mind and to find the work that they enjoy. And we really focus on promoting diversity and workplace resiliency.
I like this. I like this, man, because I was talking to my daughter about how the workplace has changed over the years. So I want to go ahead and dive into you and everything that you do, man. So let's go into a time machine. How did this start out for you?
So I actually, again, started my career in healthcare about 20 years ago. And then in 2016, I launched my company under a different name, Hecka Healthcare Consulting. And I was solely focused on being a career coach for individuals in the healthcare field, because one thing about healthcare, nonprofits, and in education, which are all of the areas where I have worked over the years, is that we're generally short on resources, short on people, and we are burnt out, right?
Yeah.
And you notice this with teachers in the classroom. So fast forward in 2022, I decided to expand from really supporting folks in healthcare to really focusing on those of us who are committed to social impact, which again is usually healthcare, education, nonprofit, and providing career support and resiliency services. So my company really, we do a couple of different things. We produce content focused on career development, and we also organize events. So I do a lot of, especially I'm based here in the DC area, and with all of the layoffs going on, I'm doing workshops and a lot of speaking engagements, trying to help folks to prepare themselves to get back in the workforce, as well as we focus on diversity events, because everything that we do is about promoting workplace resiliency and guiding people to the right career path. But we also want to promote healthy work environments. So I run a series, a virtual series called Diversity Works, and we have any and everybody on that panel, and we really focus on how to really build up teams and positive work environments. And then, of course, the last portion of that are the services that I provide as a career coach, helping people to find their pathways. And a lot of that is through my workshops, training, and just one-on-one coaching and career branding.
I like this, man. I think too is that when you go on TikTok, there's a lot of who are about I'm not getting hired. I don't have the resources. I don't know what to do, especially now with AI coming in and everything. What has been one of the most, I guess, challenging things that you've seen helping people?
Well, one of the things is people are afraid that AI is going to take their job, right? What we're going to have to do is really to leverage AI as a tool to make ourselves indispensable, right? And so even as a career coach, I remember when AI first came on the scene. It's been on the scene for a while, but it really started to pop around 2023, started getting a little bit popular with the rise of ChatGPT. Concerned, I said, even, as somebody who's running a business, I was concerned at first, right? And I would say for a few months, it was slow, but then people started to come back because they recognized the need for that one-on-one and human support. So the biggest concerns for me, for really in supporting clients, is clients have really been concerned about, again, the emergence of AI, what the current job market is looking like in terms of, the competition, the rise in competition. And even when we talk about the spread of, think about this generation that just graduated high school and college, and then now they're competing for some of the same jobs that older adults will be competing for it. But at the
Okay.
same aspect, those older adults are concerned about factors like ageism. So it's just, this all around holistic concern about where do I fall within the workforce. And what I try to tell people is one, yes, the workforce is competitive. We have to look at upscaling ourselves, right? And using some of these things as a tool versus focusing on is it going to just replace me automatically? It's true. AI is going to replace some jobs, but then how do you
Yeah.
make yourself a commodity, right? By
Yeah.
upskilling and training yourself and positioning yourself where as an asset, where either you're running a business, I'm not going to say even side hustle, but you're doing things to bring in additional income and brand yourself. And this is a lot of the reason why when I talk to people about career development, and I say that you are in the business of you, and I use the term career branding, right? Because
I
as
like that.
business owners, you and I both know we focus on branding our business. Just like I see your logo behind
Bro.
you, right? So the same thing, the career brand we build, that is really what makes us an asset, and that's based on our reputation and the skills that we bring to the table.
I think, and to go on that is that I think it becomes more like a job interview is just not a job interview anymore today. It's not like I go up to you and shake your hand. I mean, yeah, that is it, but it's also about what you've done and how you're presenting it as well. So I do agree with what you're saying is that the brand of yourself, it has to evolve along with how everything has been going.
Right, because technology is always going to merge, and one of the things, this is why we're conducting so many free and educational or pay what you can type workshops. One, right, because I'm not here trying to charge people an arm and a leg when I know that we're in this job market, but I'm still running a business. But one of the things I tell people is like, when you go to an interview, it's not just about selling yourself and saying, here's what I do. Employers actually want to know what you're going to do for them and how you can solve their problems.
Yeah.
So one of the realities that I've been getting people to face is, would you hire you? So
Okay.
initially, when you look at your resume or you think about the skill set you have, yes, you probably would. Of course, we're gonna hype ourselves up, right? Or
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
ask friends for feedback, they're gonna hype us up. But when you really break down and look at that job description, um, did you really do this resume in a way where the employer or a recruiter looks at it and go, this is a person who can come in and solve my problem?
Yeah.
Or when you get to the interview, are you selling yourself as the person that can solve the problem? They advertise the job for a reason, right?
Yeah.
There is a space that they're looking to fill. And so in a competitive job market, one way to continue to set ourselves apart is simply making sure that we understand it from the perspective of the hiring employee, the employer, right? How can we go in and immediately be an asset to that organization? And that's how we have to sell ourselves.
I like this, man. I like the type of talk you talking. I like this. I really do. So now we got the book and everything, man. Why the emphasis on the book? Why not just put it in a form where a lot of people just on this video? So I like the book. I think it's good to read, but why the book?
Okay, so you talked about a little bit early about mental health, right?
Yeah.
So when I first relaunched and expanded, I called myself a career and mindset coach, and now I've just more so used the term career and executive coach. But one of the things or pitfalls that gets us every time is going to be mindset. So the reason why, in this interview, I wanted to talk a little bit about my book, The Prescription for Career Success, is one because in a time where diversity is being challenged, and I've launched myself as a diversity company, I was able to bring together 15 different authors of diverse backgrounds and diverse experiences who really just shared their stories on overcoming obstacles within their career.
Right.
So one of the things that really gets folks, and I see this on LinkedIn a lot when I see people, I've applied for 200 jobs or 600 jobs, and I've only had three interviews. That can really be disheartening, right?
Yeah.
It can be discouraging. So part of the pitfall of trying to navigate a tough job market is to manage your mindset and manage your mental health, right? Because it can be really taxing. The entire name of the book, and this is just volume one, because this Prescription for Career Success, we have a mini podcast that we do around it called Prescription for
Okay.
Career Success. There's a whole branding around it, and we do an annual summit, which that summit is going to be in July of 2026. But
Okay.
this year was in April, and we also have the replay available for sale. But this book became a #1 bestseller on Amazon simply because the entire title of the book is Prescription for Career Success, elevate your mindset and transform your career, right? Because we know that 80% of the battle with anything is really going to be the mindset and how we approach it,
I
right?
agree with you
You
on
know
that.
what I mean? If we go in defeated, then we're going to attract that energy. So I thought it would
Exactly.
be a positive spin to come in and have all of these people who are real people just like you and me, right?
Yeah.
Really share an experience from the ups and downs of their career to help to transform their leadership style, their mindset, and position them to get to that next level.
I like this because, and I agree with you because I always went into stuff always knowing that I could do it. Because
Right.
if you know that I can do it, I know that it's achievable. So it's also the mindset. So I agree with you on that.
Right. And just because we hype ourselves up, right, we know that we still have to go through the ebbs and flows of navigating that process, like running a business or applying for that job role. And you might go to an interview, you might not get the job,
Well,
but you keep getting better and better every time.
yeah,
And so you have to be able to manage your mindset and your thought processes and not be overcome by emotion to the point where you get so defeated that becomes the trajectory of defeat becomes the wins, right?
yeah.
Eventually, somebody said work is always working for you. It's either working on you. I think I forget the business coach name who said it, but he talks is working for you or working on you.
Yeah.
And so we were putting energy in the air and we're making those positive steps, even though it might not seem like we're moving forward. You actually are, because with each experience, you're going to learn from it. You're going to get better and better at it.
As an author, well, as somebody that's writing the book, what has been the most, I don't want to say challenging, but what has been the most thriving part about it? Like when you actually put it out, what has been the most accomplished for you?
Hearing people say that this made a difference. So this book was the first time that I said, okay, we're gonna do this from end to end on our own. We're gonna design the cover. We're gonna coordinate the process. We're gonna go through the publishing. But I mean, I've put many books out there, right? But my very this book itself was different because it was the first time I said, I'm gonna just reach out to some people and say, hey, would you like to collab on this and let's do it together,
Okay.
right? And it's like it's such a different feeling because you were able to learn from so many different perspectives.
Yeah.
And then the people who have bought the book and read it say, man, because this is not just a book, it's a journal. So after each chapter, we give like one or two reflective exercises, like three. Yeah, it's a reflective exercise after each. It's
Okay.
3 journal prompts. So you're basically reading a chapter. You can do this book for a couple of months because you basically are reading the chapter and then you're going through each of the 3 journal prompts,
I
right?
get it. Yeah.
Okay, and it's like 19 chapters in the book. So you could actually be working through this book for a couple of months. It's not just a quick read.
I like this. I really do because and it's not coming from one perspective. It comes from this person, this person, this person. So you get a all round perspective of different aspects.
Yeah, and so we have the prescription for career success. That's one of people don't know, but I probably published over 40 or 50 like books and journals. But
Wow.
just what's actively in front of me pertaining to this um phase of what I'm doing is I'm at about 10 different books and journals, right? And so we have that book, but then I have to just mention this. I am an educator. I've been doing this for 20 years in addition to coaching, right? And
Yeah.
I always say I'm an HR professional. That's my background, but that has allowed me to teach in the realm of adult education and working.
Yeah.
But I was an elementary school teacher for a couple of years. I'm still certified here in the DC area as an elementary school teacher.
Yeah.
And so I have to mention this book because my sister is also a doctor. She's a physical therapist. And for 2 years, we worked on colorful careers in healthcare. And I want to say what's special about this book is when I had the idea for this book, one of the things that I wanted to do for children as a teacher was to make sure we produced, I'm going to open it up because I'm not sure if you can see it, but it allows them to practice a couple things: handwriting, learn about different careers. There's a scannable QR code where
Okay.
kids can scan it and it takes them to a fun little educational video. But I
Cool.
think the most important thing about this as a black woman is that the reason why it took me 2 years to do this is because I had each of the pictures hand drawn and I paid attention to everything like their hair. I made sure that this was not only a diverse book, but if I wanted my children to see themselves in it,
I get that.
I
Yeah.
wanted the folks to look like them. The hair had to be right. Everything had to be right. So this is a book that really celebrates diversity while teaching children at the appropriate grade age level
I like this.
about careers in healthcare. So those are just two books that are near and dear to my heart that I wrote.
I like this because I think too is that we need one just to open up the mind for children and kids and everything. I think this is for something for you to do something like that. It really does something for me because because people don't realize coloring is so therapeutic in itself. It could really help kind of like not strain, but it helps you like you have OCD or something. It kind of calms that down. So it helps so much in so many different facets.
It does. And so I've definitely had some adults purchase this book. When I did this coloring book, I was really aiming for children in K through 5. But
Okay.
I've had some teachers that are teaching middle school that are like, this book is actually helpful for children even up to 8th grade, especially depending on their reading level, because some of the words can be difficult to say. This is why we make sure we sound it out. Another piece of it is that, because it's teaching young children about careers and diversity in healthcare, it's also teaching them how to advocate for themselves, because there are 42 different healthcare careers. And like I said, we have a video that goes through each career and teaching them at their level. So when they are going to the doctor, it teaches them, oh, I'm going to see an endocrinologist. Why am I seeing this person? So they can really learn to advocate for themselves because they actually are knowledgeable about healthcare, right? And who's serving them and who's supporting them in this industry.
I think too is that and as educators, I mean, you've seen it for yourself. It has went downhill tremendously. So I think anything that could help improvise it and bring it back where it can be, I think that deserves a round of applause.
Yeah, it's a great source for teachers in the classroom, but it's also a great source for homeschooling, like as parents, honestly. And I'm saying this as an educator, we're going to have to take educating children into our own hands, right? When I was a child, I didn't understand why my grandmother had me watching Roots and Shaka Zulu and reading all these books. But, as I've grown older, I've seen the impact of that because I've majored in health and history. Like all of that is a part of my professional education as a result of my upbringing. And it wasn't that we were rich. It was just that, she just made sure that we were knowledgeable of our culture, of the options that were available to us. And it really helped to broaden our perspective. So I encourage parents to, supplement, because I have to be realistic. Not every child's going to be able to get a homeschool, right? But do what you can to supplement. I will say this. My mama, when I was growing up, and I'm in my 40s, worked at Taco Bell. And so it didn't really matter the job title, right? But I remember her distinctly when I was 3 and 4 years old, sitting at the table with me, teaching me how to write my name and write my ABCs in cursive and in print, and making sure I read books. So it doesn't matter, the socioeconomic level. It's just about the effort that we're going to be willing to invest and put into our children, right?
It's two is that, and to your point, man, because I remember whenever my mom's, we would go to the grocery store and she would make me count out the coins.
Yep.
And when you're young, it's like, yo, man, this is embarrassing. But those little things go the longest way. A lot of these kids, even the kids who are graduating now, they don't understand about a signature. Even just something as little as that, about cursive, about understanding fine print. This is everything that kind of what we were taught. It's kind of been lack thereof going further. So, like, once again, I applaud you for this.
Yeah, and we do have on our Work Solutions YouTube page, we have produced some content to make sure that parents are introducing. Now, again, we're a career development company, and I do mainly focus on workplace and environments. But because we produced this book, we do have some content from a few years back that we really produced around just introducing kids to career development and concepts, because that was just a part of me just making sure that parents are educated on what options are available for children and how you as a parent can start where you are and introduce them to the ideology of career development and career growth, right? Because not everybody's going to be a doctor. Even though I have this nice book, there are plenty of jobs out there like plumber or welder that pay that pay. We just have to make sure that our kids are educated on their options. So
I like this. So where can the people grab the books at? I know you said Amazon. What can they do with that?
So all of the books are on Amazon. You can literally Google, search Dr. Kristy Taylor, or they can go to my website, WORxK Solutions, so worksolutions.com/books, and it'll point them to the Amazon link.
Okay, I like this. When do you have time for you, man? Kristy, when you have time for you?
Hey, I work a full-time job. I'm running a business, but one of the things I say when it comes to being resilient is to really, I have to put hard stops on it. It's like I told my assistants today, I said today we hard stop at 8:30, right?
Okay.
So you do have to, and you have to be in front of your calendar. So like everything has to be on the calendar. If it ain't on there, I'll try to adjust, but I try to just have it very structured. It's not perfect, but I try to have those moments where it's like, okay, I'm gonna block off this whole week. I'm not working. Like the whole month of August, it was my birthday month. I did not really work. I just did the events that I do, but I didn't take on any clients or anything like that. So in the midst of pursuing what you want, right, you got to work for it. But in the midst of pursuing what you want, you can schedule time in fine balance. Did I take the financial hit because I said in August I'm not going to do anything?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's more important. I'd rather take the financial hit than to take the mental health hit. Because sometimes you have to give yourself a break. Okay.
I like that, man. I like that. When's the next event?
So the next event is going to be September 20th, and we're actually preparing to, through Work Solutions, like I said, we do a lot of career development workshops, and we've been really teaching the people the basis of how to really brand yourself. And in the summertime, we run our Diversity Works Roundtable series, and we just had one that was really great, focused on the workplace resiliency. And so we're going to do the last part of this series on September 20th.
Okay.
And it is leadership for DEIA impact. And I know DEIA is controversial, but we are not political. I think to be able to really lead and do the work that we do, you have to just keep pushing forward. So this was, these are things that we had already planned. So we just continue to push forward and have great discussions around the topics of diversity and representation because it's a necessity, right? And that's going to be on September 20th. And then, of course, we just launched our schedule for September, and people can check out worksolutions.com/work events. Literally every week in September, we are doing resume writing and career development workshops because it is International Update Your Resume Month.
Oh, wow. Actually, I didn't even know about that.
We didn't either. It popped up in our cast, so we gotta acknowledge this, especially because we are a career branding company, right?
I'm definitely gonna be into this, man. Now if people, and I know you said the website, say it one more time just in case we have slow listeners out there.
It's Work Solutions. I'm going to spell it because sometimes it can get confusing, right? Because of the way we spell work. It's WORxK Solutions.com.
Definitely, man. And they can also grab the books on Amazon. And now, is there a audio version for this or no?
There is not an audio version for this book. There's an audio version for the book that I'm most well known for, which is Ace the Medical Interview. There's an audio version for that because that came out in 2019. But what I would encourage folks to do is check out some of our events. A lot of our events are free, and pretty much if there's a fee for it, it's donation based. It's pay what you can. Like I just ran a set of workshops yesterday. Well, I don't know when people will be hearing this, but on September 1st, I ran an all-day set of workshops focusing on teaching people about career branding, how to do your resume, LinkedIn, and then it was like how to do your career pivot. We're going to actually do the same thing on October 13th.
Okay.
Teach people how to discover themselves. This is Columbus Day, and we're going to focus on LinkedIn, resume. Well, on that day, we're going to do LinkedIn interview prep. So we'll do a group coaching, and then we will also. There's a lot of people right now who in the midst of this job search process are trying to figure out, how do I just make a career transition? We use the word pivot, but when you pivot, you can kind of do an about face. So you're kind of going into a different direction with the skills you have. But what if I have to move into a totally different sector, right? Yeah. And so we're going to do a workshop really helping people to identify their values and their strengths and how to continue to move forward when you can transition. And those workshops, the minimum is like $10. You pay what you can. The minimum is like $10. So if you feel like you can do more because it helps us do the work, right?
Yeah.
But most of our workshops throughout the month of September are just free.
That's wild.
Right.
I like that.
And I will say this before we wrap. Before we wrap up, if you feel like you need a refresher on resume writing, LinkedIn, or just career branding, we recorded the workshops that we did September 1st, and you actually get all 3 workshops for $27. And
Wow.
we're doing that, to support people all the way up to September 21st. So that's our current promotion. And also, you can schedule a resume or LinkedIn audit session with me for $49. So these things are not expensive. We just want to make, because do I support executive claims? Of course, people paying
Yeah.
$2,000 or $3,000 to work with me, but I also want to make sure that it's available at every level. And you have to be willing to invest in yourself, because if you're not even willing to invest $10 or $7 for your career brand, and you're in the business of you, that says a lot,
Yeah.
right? Because in our business, we invest, but it takes
That-
money to make money.
No, I mean, that's real though. I mean, it's $15, $20 to get a pair of pants and to get some
Yeah.
non-slip resistant shoes, no matter where you work at. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get the shoes either way it goes. So it's an investment, man. You got
It is.
So where can the people find you at personally?
I'm available on Instagram, and the easiest way to find me is just dr.kristytaylor. So dr.kristytaylor. That's the easiest way to find me.
Kristy, man, this has been a pleasure talking to you, man. I really do appreciate this.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Chicago 77.3, man. It's the one and only DJ Malone. We out. One.
We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3, your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.